Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sugar and Spikes podcast. Today, I just wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about navigating kind of corporate life while doing like the side hustle, or just even like navigating corporate life as a creative. A while ago, I wrote a blog post in response to another blog post all about doing the 9-to-5 corporate thing with tattoos. And this topic's come up again, so I just wanted to talk about like how to have a friggin' job and not lose yourself. Hopefully there's a couple things in here that you haven't thought about or a different way to look at it, and yeah, enjoy. Right now, I really want to talk about like navigating the whole like 9-to-5 corporate world, day job situation while like you're doing your own thing, when you're the super creative type. Because like even if you're not doing the side hustle, but like I feel like a lot of us in this group are, like it's the female empowerment and entrepreneur group, right? So, like, yeah, we're all really driven, strong women. Probably a lot of us don't have either the stable income or even like the desire to fully walk away from a 9-to-5. And I've done a lot of blogs and podcasts about why to be thankful for the 9-to-5, which is one piece that I will get into. But, like, there are pieces that make it kind of shitty and make it suck sometimes. So I'm just going to talk about my experience and the things that I've kind of had to navigate and the lessons that I've learned and where to go from there. All right. So, first off, I think it's super important to note that when I talk about navigating the corporate world, I'm definitely talking about it as very much a tattooed person. So, like, I have total half sleeves, almost a full sleeve on my left arm. Have the neck tattoo, short hair. As you can see, like my hair is it's not super bright right now, but normally it's like very vibrant, not like a traditional color. Like I definitely express myself, not necessarily express myself, but like those pieces have been a part of me for a really long time, and I feel weird if those aren't a part of me. And I went through the situation where when I was in grad school, and it was a super like white collar, straight laced program. It was actually a doctoral program, and we had to like fit like super strict dress codes and had to change my hair and did all these things that pretty much meant I had to change myself. And I mean those pieces of like having to navigate walking away from, is this me? Is this something that I can give up? Was one of the pieces that led me to walk from the program. Which brings me to my first point, is understand what is negotiable for you and what's not negotiable. So like, what are you willing to kind of deal with or put up with in your corporate job, in your 9-to-5, versus what like is just not something that can happen. When I was looking for jobs, like even after I graduated from my master's, like I was going on so many interviews where, for one, like even just the stuff I was wearing was super like Gap-tastic and Banana Republic-y, and I didn't feel like me, which affected how like my interview was, and it affected how I connected with people, right? So that that just wasn't something that was really benefiting me, and I had to, hey Ashley, sorry, got thrown off. I had like 9 interviews, really good ones where I was like more than qualified for, but because I had boring hair, was hiding my tattoos like in the middle of summer, and was just like dressing up as someone that was not me, I didn't connect with the interviewer, and I didn't get the job. And it was over a year of like a job hunt until I finally was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to be me and I'm going to move on. Like, that's how it is. So I redid things, and then the company that I'm with right now, like, I did my research, and that brings me to tip number 2. Like, know kind of what you're getting into, and that's for both sides. Like, this whole topic kind of stems from a blog post around navigating corporate life with tattoos. Like, what's the corporate culture like? And this is totally prevalent and applicable if you're doing the side hustle thing. Like, does your job require you in your cubicle at 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. and there's no ifs, ands, or buts, and you have like a crazy ton of firewall stuff and like blockers so you can't, spend 10 minutes doing something else? Like, know what type of situation you're getting into. Like, so super corporate, or is it more like creative where you have more freedom and people aren't breathing down your neck, like just different ways that even a 9-to-5 can exist. So one piece would just be like, researching the type of companies that you want to be involved with while you're doing your thing. And then also, let's see. Sorry, I have notes. No, it's negotiable, it's not. We're willing to sacrifice. Acknowledge your situation. Talked about that. And then, like, no matter where you are, like, those are pieces where if you're looking for something right now or, maybe changing jobs or something. But, like, if you're in a job, if you're in a 9-to-5 and things aren't going to be changing in the immediate future, like, kind of write out what your situation is and get an understanding of it and the way it makes you feel. Like, I don't like going to my corporate job because I feel blank, Write out all of the facts. My job pays me this. Just get a very good, like, objective understanding of your situation. And then before you do anything else, sit with it. Give it some time. Let it be okay. Don't judge it. So when I talk about writing out your situation, I mean objective facts. Like, you can say, I feel shitty when, but the fact that you feel like that isn't inherently a good thing or a bad thing. It's a fact that you feel a way. My job allows me to blank. My job restricts my ability to blank. Write them out as facts without any judgment. Sit with it. And then after you've like spent some time just kind of like being okay in the situation and giving up a bit of like the resistance around it, then that's where some of the reframe comes in. Like, I was super disappointed and frustrated that I couldn't do my live earlier today with you guys. But then I was like, I'm not going live. I'm thankful for this job because it's paying my bills. Like, fact, and looked at all of the other objective pieces and then was okay with it. And, like, I was able to, like, reassess and still offer value and show up in a way that I could, so I was able to change it. But then, like, I see so many people that just get down on their jobs, and this was a pet peeve of mine a while ago, and I wrote, like, a super lengthy blog post about it, where people were just like, I hate the 9-to-5, I hate my day job, blah, 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 And the thing is like, what does it allow you to do? Like, my 9-to-5 lets me be home with my dog and hang out and pay all of my bills and support my budding business. Like, my job is like my fucking sugar daddy, right? Like, it requires a bit of my time, yeah, and I get to learn skills. I have stuff that the banks were super stoked to see while I was applying for a mortgage. Like, getting a mortgage as an entrepreneur and solo business owner is really fucking hard. So being able to say I was a W-2 employee, let me get my fucking dream house. Like, what does your job let you do? Does it let you feed your kids? Does it, like, all of these other things that support you in getting to where you want to be? Be thankful for it. Spend so much time being thankful. And every time you get frustrated, stop, pause, realize, like it takes a bit of awareness, realize, and then be thankful. Also in terms of like creativity and being an entrepreneur and kind of like looking for that flexibility piece, and as a creative, like going back to the hair and tattoos piece, there's the topic of respect. And it's not only like be thankful for your job, but respect it, that it's this resource for you and available to you. And respect your supervisor and your team. When I started off with tattoos and everything, like I went a solid month or two before anybody saw my tattoos. And I had like boring hair about it for about a year while I was working there. But then after I showed what I was capable of and my commitment and ability, I was able to be more me, and I started to show my tattoos and, started to kind of test out the flexible schedule and stuff. This is when I was still going into the office. But like not testing the waters, but I mean, I guess totally testing the waters. But that was because I had earned respect amongst my coworkers. And then the flip side is you also need to fucking give it. So once I became a salaried employee, because I started off at my current company as an intern, once I became a salaried employee, it meant going to corporate clients. We're a creative consulting firm and we work with international corporate clients. So it meant going to like their headquarters and presenting and doing all these things in a very traditional environment, in many very traditional environments. Like I was just at HQ in the Midwest for a large retailer, and like the most Midwest type of company you could think of. And I showed up. Granted, at this point, like I showed up with my purple hair, but like it was also 90 degrees and I was wearing a blazer, like covering my tattoos and toned down makeup. So like give it when you can, flex when you can. And it also goes in terms of time and stuff. Like if you're salaried, and granted, this is totally a privilege for the salaried, but if you're salaried, then it's not necessarily like clocking at 9, leaving at 6 or whatever that's like. It's flexing and bending and, like acknowledging when times are slow and you can put energy elsewhere versus the times when shit really picks up and you need to be doing the 12 or 13 hour days for your 9 to 5 because that's what's called for, and there's already been some give and take. So, it's up for that continual conversation. It's all about respecting the situation, where you are, where you want to be, and using it. That was really all I had for today. Thank you so much for giving this a listen, and let me know in the comments how you've kind of navigated the corporate thing while, rocking the side hustle, or how you jump from one to the other. And be sure to subscribe, give this a like, and you can find me on all of the social media at DesWMizMBA, completely across the board. Twitter, Facebook, Insta, and Pinterest. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.